Welcome to Back to You. This is a platform that connects people that have a deeper understanding about themselves, and we just come together and talk about what's really important. So I know it's been a minute before I did my last video. I think that was probably sometime in November, maybe sometime in December, but anyways, I wanted to take a little hiatus from it because, one, when you're learning so many new things and you're trying to teach what you already know to other people, it could be kind of a lot. So I just had to take a step back and continue to learn the things that I wanted to learn and not be so caught up on trying to get as much information out as I can and try to catch people up as much as I can. So that's what made me come to the realization that people is just gonna have to meet me where I'm at. Honestly, y'all, it's so many resources out there nowadays that you can go and you can find out the real story about everything and our real history. Is so many resources out. That's a good thing about our time period right now. We have access to all this information with a click of a button. So I'm definitely going to leave information like the people that I have been looking at throughout my journey, and also different books and stuff, so I can kind of help y'all out and basically tell y'all where to look. But I'm not necessarily going to go too much in depth as far as trying to get y'all caught up on the history behind stuff. So with that being said, that's not really what I'm going to focus on anymore. It's important. Do your own research, figure out the real story of what's going on so you know who you are on this realm. But I'm just not going to go too deep into it. I might hit on a few things that might be important or relevant to what I'm talking about, but getting into what I want to talk about on this platform is really just what's going on right now and how using the energy, how it's supposed to be used so we can get back into the way we're supposed to be living. This platform, like I said earlier, is for people that have a deeper understanding about themselves. So it's the people that already know how our bodies operate and what we need. Food is fuel. Eating clean, eating healthy, exercising, going out in nature, grounding yourself, all that type of stuff. The people that know that's what you're supposed to be doing, healing your childhood traumas, all that different type of stuff. We know that we're supposed to be doing this, right? But that's not going to be something you just quickly master. It's a lifelong journey with that. But because of what's going on in this time period and the reasons why this time period is so significant, we are able to do a lot more than what's being told, if you can kind of hint what I'm getting at. And when you truly reach that understanding of who you are and the power that you have, of course you want to know how to use it. Because despite whatever type of fear-based propaganda they put out, whether it be movies, the news, whatever media outlet, they try to push these fear-based propaganda so you can just be so scared all the time of what's next. Oh my God, Jesus is coming. Oh my God, it's going to be the end of the world. Oh my God, whatever. Blah, blah. It's a type of frequency that you get off when that you give off when you're under that state of fear, under that mindset of fear. I'm gonna get into it deeper, but just to long story short, despite all the fear-based shit that they try to put out, our power on a personal level and a collective level is way more powerful than whatever elite, whatever government system, whatever AI, any of that shit don't have nothing on our personal power and our collective power. And when you know how to tap into that and you truly understand that, then you know that that's a fact. That's not a belief, it's a fact. One book that really wrapped my head around that concept, basically reading this book was a full circle moment for me, because it talks about the different things that you go through when you are taking a journey to better yourself and to really be the best person you can be and operate in your highest self. So the book is called the Celestine Prophecy, and it talks about this manuscript that the government and the churches are trying to suppress because the information that's on there contradicts, well, they think that it contradicts what they're teaching in the churches and the word of God or whatever. So they're trying to suppress this manuscript. But people out there that's already seen it, they know that this will be like for the good of all people. And they're trying to spread this information, but it's dangerous because, like I said, the government and the churches. But anyways, back to what I was talking about. The Celestine Prophecy breaks down these insights that they found on the manuscript. So it was like a prophecy, like predictions on the manuscripts, and it was insights talking about how a person kind of gets to the level of operating at their highest self, collectively and personally. And what I like about it is it breaks it down. And I do want to read a little bit to y'all, because this is exactly what I was looking for. When you're on your spiritual journey, at least for me, it's like different levels to this stuff. Learning about myself connected me. You get to the level where you realize that everything is connected and you're connected to everything around you, everyone around you. And when you get to that point and that level, you really understand that the way that we're operating is not the fucking way that we need to be operating. Like, that's not the natural way. What we're waking up, going to work for 8 hours, coming back home, watching TV, eating junk food, not living off the land, pollution, like all that shit. That's not the way we're supposed to be living. But it's not hopeless, despite what they may tell you. It's not hopeless, but the time period we are in now, people are realizing and they're being aware that the way that we're living is not the right way to be living. So this is what the book talks about, the collective shifts that's happening. So for example, I'm gonna read this part to you. This is the Celestine Prophecy, page 229, and this is kind of like an overview of the different insights that was on the manuscript. So the first insight, I'm gonna just read it. First insight: I knew that the whole culture was sensing this mystery again as well, and we were in the process of constructing a new worldview, as pointed out by the second. The third and fourth had showed me that the universe was in reality a vast system of energy, and that human conflict was a shortage of and a manipulation for this energy. The fifth insight revealed that we could end this conflict by receiving an inpouring of this energy from a higher source. For me, this ability had become almost habit. The sixth, that we could clear our old repeated dramas and find our true selves, was also permanently etched in my mind. And the seventh had set in motion the evolution of those true selves through question, intuition of what to do, and answer. Staying in this magic flow was truly the secret of happiness. And the eighth, knowing how to relate in a new way to others, bringing out in them the very best, was the key to keeping the mystery operating and the answers coming. What was left, I knew, was the ninth, which revealed where our evolution was taking us. So that's kind of like a overview, I guess, of the different types of insights. It goes into it deeper, like it goes through, it's 9 insights and they go through each one, and it's a story as well. So it's a very interesting. This is like one of the quickest book I ever finished because it was just so intriguing. So I know a lot of y'all keep hearing me talking about the significance of this time period. So if you don't know already, we're in the age of Aquarius, and that simply means that this is the time period where people are looking for knowledge, like they're looking for truth, they're seeking information. So that's why it's a lot of things coming into light, a lot of things being exposed, because this is the time where the truths are being brought forward. And I'm pretty sure you can think of a lot of examples of how between 2023 and what's today's date? 6th day of the year. It's already been a lot of things that has been brought forward that we probably wasn't expecting. But anyway, that's the energy of the time period that we're in right now. And also we're in like a collective shift. Our consciousness as a collective, and when I say as a collective, I mean like as a people, like as a real human beings, okay? The people that know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. But real human beings, that's what I mean when I say the collective. And we're also undergoing a collective consciousness shift. And the book also talks about that. So I'm going to pull that up and just show y'all what the book says about that. It says, the ninth insight explains how human culture will change in the next millennium as a result of conscious evolution. It describes a significantly different way of life. For instance, the manuscript predicts that we humans will voluntarily decrease our population so that we all may live in the most powerful and beautiful places on the earth. But remarkably, many more of these areas will exist in the future because we will intentionally let the forests go uncut so they can mature and build energy. According to the ninth insight, by the middle of the next millennium, he continued, humans will typically live among 500-year-old trees and carefully tended gardens, yet within easy travel distance of an urban area of incredible technological wizardry. By then, the means of survival, foodstuffs and clothing and transportation will all be totally automated and at everyone's disposal. Our needs will be completely met without the exchange of any currency, yet also without any overindulgence or laziness. Guided by their intuitions, everyone will know precisely what to do and when to do it, and this will fit harmoniously with the actions of others. No one will consume excessively because we will have let go of the need to possess and to control for security. In the next millennium, life will have become about something else. According to the manuscript, he went on, our sense of purpose will be satisfied by the thrill of our own evolution, by the elation of receiving intuitions and then watching closely as our destinies unfold. The ninth depicts a human world where everyone has slowed down and become more alert, ever vigilant for the next meaningful encounter that comes along. Can you visualize human encounters that have this much meaning and significance? Think how it will be for two people meeting for the first time. Each will observe the other's energy field, exposing any manipulations. Once clear, they will consciously share life stories until, elatedly, messages are discovered. Afterward, each will go forward again on their individual journey, but they will be significantly altered. They will vibrate at a new level and will thereafter touch others in a way not possible before their meeting. Okay, I'm gonna pause right there. A lot of people claim that this way of living that I just read about is not possible, basically saying like we're too far gone. No, that's not the case. They're just using the people that know this information as well, but they're using it for the bad to manipulate the energy and use it against us. But when we realize that shit and we wake up and we see shit for what it is, that stuff don't have no type of effect on us because we're above it. Like, we're not even operating on that frequency. The shit can't even touch us at this point, if you want to put it like that. I said that to say I come across people that don't believe that this could happen, and I'm just trying to find people that know how they want to live, what they want their life to look like, and they know that that can happen. You know what I'm saying? No, you can't save everybody. Everybody's not going to be saved. Everybody's not going to get it. But I'm looking for the ones who get it, and that's who I'm trying to talk to, and that's what I'm building this platform for, because I know y'all out there. That's all. That's my little tidbit that I wanted to put in before I read this next part. But to continue, I personally had no doubt that he was describing an achievable future Yet I also knew that throughout history, many visionaries had glimpsed such a world. Marx, for example, yet no way had been found to create such a utopia. Communism had become a tragedy. Even with the knowledge imparted in the first 8 insights, I couldn't imagine how the human race could get to the place described by the 9th, considering human behavior generally. I voiced my concern. The manuscript says our natural pursuit of the truth will lead us there, Dobson explained, smiling directly at me. But to grasp how this movement will occur, perhaps it is necessary to visualize the next millennium. Think about what has occurred already in this millennium. During the Middle Ages, we lived in a simple world of good and evil, defined by the churchmen. During the Renaissance, we broke free. We knew that there had to be more to man's situations in the universe than the churchmen knew, and we wanted the full story. We then sent science out to discover our true situation. But when this effort didn't provide the answers we needed right away, we decided to settle in and turn our modern work ethic into a preoccupation that secularized reality and squeezed the mystery out of the world. But now we can see the truth of that preoccupation. We can see that the real reason we spent 5 centuries creating material supports for human life was to set the stage for something else, a way of life that returns the mystery to existence. So what he did, basically, he told him to just look at how the last millennium went down. And he was saying, the priests and the churchmen and the people of the church were the highest of society. And that's where you went to get whatever answers you had about whatever. If somebody died, it was because of the devil or God or whatever. If the crops failed, it was because of the devil or God. Like, anything that happened, the devil or God was the explanation during that time. And then we broke free from that because we realized that the churchmen were kind of like hiding some things from us, or like giving us only what they wanted us to know and not the full story. So then we broke free from the church view of just good or evil or God and the devil, and we went into the Renaissance. And that's when a lot of inventions and everything was coming about. Like, we was really putting our foot down and marking our territories with the railroads and the factories and just, industrialization, all that stuff. And then after that, that's when science came into play, because we wanted to know more. We wanted to know why we are here, who created us, what it is we're supposed to be doing, why are we living day to day, what's the purpose of everything. So they sent science out to figure out those answers. And in the book, it says they didn't provide the answers that we needed right away. And that's because they kept it from us, because, if they told us what stuff was for real, all the stuff that they're doing now wouldn't even be able to be, we wouldn't even be rocking with that junk, because we would know what it is. But it's a little bit harder for us because we have to go and seek the information for ourselves. It's not taught in schools. It's not something that you can just go to school for. Like, it's in the whole experience that you have to go do for yourself. So when we did that, and they said it took a long time for the science to come back with the answers, and we settled in and went into our preoccupation. The preoccupation is talking about the jobs that we do just to live, basically, because you have to have some sort of income to live. 90% of people are probably doing a job that they don't want to do, waking up to do a job that they don't want to do every day. First of all, we come to the point now, a lot of us don't even want to fucking work no more. And I get that, because we're not supposed to be on here to work to make money to live. That's so fucking backwards. But let me not get into the rant of that. Let me keep going. We're realizing and we're waking up from this preoccupation period. So that's where we are right now. Like, say, how you just going through the motions. You're on autopilot, basically. But we're going back into manual, and we're waking up and we're realizing, like, why the fuck am I doing this shit every day? Like, what is the meaning? Like, it has to be more than this. That's what everybody's saying. There has to be more to life than this. And that's where it says a way of life that returns the mystery into existence. It says, once we reach the critical mass, he continued, and the insights begin to come in on a global scale, the human race will first experience a period of intense introspection. We'll grasp how beautiful and spiritual the natural world really is. We'll see trees and rivers and mountains. We'll demand an end to any economic activity that threatens this treasure. And those closest to this situation will find alternative solutions to this pollution problem, because someone will intuit these alternatives as they seek their own evolution. This will be part of the first great shift that will occur, which will be a dramatic movement of individuals from one occupation to another, because when people begin to receive clear intuitions of who they really are and what they're supposed to be doing, they often discover they're in the wrong job and they have to jump to another type of work in order to continue to grow. The manuscript says that during this period, people will sometimes change careers several times during their lifetimes. The next cultural shift will be an automation of the production of goods. To the people who are doing the automating, the technicians, this will feel like a need to make the economy run more efficiently. But as their intuitions become clearer, they will see that what automation is actually doing is freeing up everyone's time so that we can pursue other endeavors. For the rest of us, meanwhile, we'll be following our own intuitions within our chosen occupations and wishing we had even more of this free time. We will realize that the truth we have to tell and the things we have to do are too unique to fit within the usual job setting. So we will find ways to cut our employment hours to pursue our own truth. 2 or 3 people will hold what used to be one full-time job. This trend will make it easier for those displaced by the automation to find at least part-time jobs. But what about money? I asked. I can't believe people will voluntarily reduce their incomes. Oh, we won't have to, Dobson said. The manuscript says our incomes will remain stable because of the people who are giving us money for the insights we provide. The manuscript says that as we discover more about the energy dynamics in the universe, we will see what really happens when we give someone something. Right now, the only spiritual idea about giving is the narrow concept of religious tithing. As you know, the scriptural notion of tithing is interpreted most commonly as an injunction to give 10% of one's income to a church. The idea behind this is that whatever we will give will be returned many times. But the ninth insight explains that giving is really a universal principle of support, not just for churches, but for everyone. When we give, we receive in return because of the way energy interacts with the universe. Remember, when we project energy into someone, this creates a void in ourselves, which, if we are connected, fills up again. Money works the exact same way. The ninth insight says that once we begin to give constantly, we will always have more coming in than we could possibly give away. And our gifts, he went on, should go to the persons who have given us spiritual truth. When people come into our lives at just the right time to give us the answers we need, we should give them money. This is how we will begin to supplement our incomes and ease out of the occupations which limit us. As more people engage in the spiritual economy, we will begin a real shift into the culture of the next millennium. We will have moved through the stage of evolving into our right occupation and will be entering the stage of getting paid for evolving freely and offering our unique truth to others. If everyone were participating, then we would be giving and receiving constantly, and this interaction with others, this exchange of information will become everyone's new work, our new economic orientation. We'd be paid by the people we touched. This situation would then allow the material supports of life to become fully automated because we will be too busy to own those systems or to operate them. We would want material production automated to run like a utility. We'd own stock in it perhaps, but the situation would free us up to expand what is already the information age, or the age of Aquarius. Yeah, basically get the book, get the book, y'all. Stop waiting. Read something. If you're gonna read anything, pick this book up, y'all. This is what you need to be reading. This should be taught in schools. And I want to read this next part also because it kind of ties in, kind of wraps up what I've been talking about in this video. But the important thing for us right now is that we can now understand where we are going. We could not save the environment and democratize the planet and feed the poor because for so long we could not release our fear of scarcity and our need to control. We couldn't release it because we had no view of life that served as an alternative, but now we do. He looked at Phil, but wouldn't we need a cheap source of energy? Fusion, superconductivity, artificial intelligence, Phil said. The technology to automate is probably not that far away now that we have the knowledge of why to do it. The most important thing is that we see the truth of this way of life. We're here on this planet not to build personal empires of control, but to evolve. Paying others for their insights will begin the transformation, and then as more and more parts of the economy are automated, currency will disappear altogether. We won't need it. If we are correctly following our intuitive guidance, then we will only take what we need. I don't know about y'all, but it's possible. Between the people that I've met just last year alone, I met so many amazing people. I met so many people that understand that there is a better way to live, and it's possible in this lifetime. We don't have to wait. The end of the world is not coming. The end of the world, what they talk about in their movies, in their video games, whatever you want to say, it's the end of the world as they know it. All that shit, all the fear-based shit is for them. That's how they feel, because they know they won't be able to operate in the type of world that we're operating in, because they just can't get on that type of frequency, because they are foreign to this realm. We are not foreign to this realm. They are foreign to this realm. So when everything goes back into how it's supposed to be, they will be expelled from this realm. Do y'all understand that we are on three-dimensional plane right now? So we go by our sense. If we can't see it, we can't touch it, we can't smell it, it's basically not real, whatever. There's 5-dimensional beings, there's 9 ether, like there's different species of individuals, and what we're seeing right now is just an illusion of what they're trying to keep, because they can only live in the illusion. We, on the other hand, are able to travel freely because we are light beings, and we're able to travel, and we're able to go into these different realms and do that type of stuff because we have that power within us. I said that to say, if you're living your life harmoniously with nature, then that's all you have to worry. Like, that's all that you have to do. Be the best person you can. Treat others the way that you want to be treated, and live harmoniously with nature, and treat the earth as if it's your only one, because the earth is you. You are a reflection of everything. As above, so below. We're a reflection of earth on a micro level. Everything is connected. Whether you want to talk about it in a spiritual language, whether you want to talk about it in a religious language, or whether you want to talk about it in a scientific language, it's all leading back to the same thing. You are a reflection of everything. Everything is connected. If you want to look at some examples of just different things that I came across that are not coincidences, but if you know how to use your discernment to understand how these things are connected, it will literally jump out at you, because you realize it's talking about the same things. It's just a different story. So for example, in the Bible, there's 12 disciples. So those 12 disciples, what else, when we think of the number 12, what do we think of? Well, I think of, in astrology, it being 12 zodiac signs. Also, in science, if you want to go like the scientific route, there are 12 melanin points in your brain. So if you don't know anything about melanin, we'll get into that on one of my next videos. But there are 12 melanin centers in the brain. So that's scientifically, it's talking about how you have 12 melanin centers in your brain where the pineal gland is supposedly supposed to be, right? Okay. And then in the heavens, in the sky, you have 12 zodiac signs. And in the Bible, it talks about 12 disciples. Another example is 7 days in a week. 7 is a very powerful number. There's 7 days in a week. You have 7 energy points in your body, if you want to talk about it in the scientific term, or in a spiritual term, you have 7 chakras. The world was created in 7 days. All this stuff is not no coincidence, y'all. Y'all got to just really look at the shit for what it is. What else? The book of Genesis. Just look at that word. What do that word look like? Take off the ending. What's the root word? Gene. What is a gene? A gene starts off as one thing and develops into what? You. And if you want something that's even more specific, Genesis 32:30. It says, "So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, I saw the face of God," meaning his third eye was opened. He saw the face of God. And what's the place called? Pineal. It's not no coincidence. And your pineal gland is just so happen to be what they refer to as your third eye. And if you want to talk about it in scientific terms, it basically means that he reached a certain frequency, that he was connected to the divine, to the creator, to God, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing. So what I'm here to do for y'all at this moment in time is just basically show y'all the connections of everything and show y'all how to tap into your power, so you won't be swayed and tricked and gaslighted and manipulated by what's going on in the news and the illusion that we have called the Matrix, or the material tricks that they do to distract us from what the fuck is really going on. With that being said, thank you for tuning in to Back to You. I hope this was a good episode. This is my first day back recording in a while, so I'm trying to get back into the rhythm of things. Let me know what y'all thought about this video. I want to know who here with me, like who I be seeing y'all replying to the little nuggets I be dropping on my Instagram, and I love to see that because it just makes me it makes me know that it's people out there that's listening, and it's people that out there that understand. So don't hesitate to give me any feedback, criticism, whatever. I don't mind it, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to clear up any confusion. I'm here to not convince you, but I'm here to show you a different perspective and a different way of thinking, that when you don't have to be a genius to understand the questions that you have are valid. How you're feeling right now is valid, because you're feeling this way for a reason. It's a reason for all of this. We're going to wrap it up, but we're going to wrap it up with this one last thing that I want to read from the book, because it's just that damn good. But last thing I want to leave y'all off with is one of the final pages of the book. And it says, "From now on, the insights will have to be shared between people. Each person, once they hear the message and realize that the insights are real, must pass on the message to everyone who is ready for it. Connecting with energy is something humans have to be open to and talking about and expecting. Otherwise, the whole human race can go back to pretending that life is about having power over others and exploiting the planet." This book was made in 1993, by the way. And I don't know about y'all, but I definitely heavily relate to what the fuck I just read, because that is what I'm seeing right now. Everybody is figuring out who they are. Either you're still trying to figure out who you are, or you've figured out who you are and what you want, and what you want to truly manifest. And now this is the time where we're manifesting that shit. So y'all just know that whatever you want is already yours. You just have to want it, and you have to be it, and you have to think it, and you have to feel it, and you have to truly know if it's meant to be yours, it will be yours. And that's back to you.